Welcome to the
Hell
UDP
yeah.
broadcast, a podcast where two people get together, talk about gaming related topics, and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm your host, Luminary, and today I'm accompanied by the co-host, Amy, the Eternal Barcode.
Yeah. Hello. Unfortunately, it's only two of us tonight because people are either having technical difficulties or they have prior commitments tonight. So you get to listen to the two of us, and that's it.
That's it. Before we get into this, 10% of all revenue, well, lately 100% of all revenue has been going to the Trevor Project. Amy, you want to
They're
tell us what that
fantastic.
is?
Yeah, they're a fantastic organization that's working to end suicide among youth, trans, lesbian, gay, queer, all that stuff. Kids, LGBTQ kids. It's hard for me to remember all these things while I'm like remembering to kill things. But they are working to reduce youth suicides among that group of kids because it is very important. And given the state of affairs in the world today, they could definitely use your help. If you've got extra money, or like even a cup of coffee worth of money to kick it around, just throw it their way. They would greatly appreciate it. They definitely need the support, and it will definitely help kids all around, and some you may not even realize.
Anything to help prevent self-deletion is pretty important, so that's why we chose it, what,
Absolutely.
3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
So,
And it's a very, very worthwhile organization, and it's amazing work they're doing. They really, like I said, they really need help with it, especially given the state of things and funding cuts that are happening for various reasons.
whatever fucking reasons that is, Jesus Christ. Well,
Yep. Well, this is not that kind of show, so I'm stepping on the edge there. But yeah, it's dumb as hell that they're cutting funding, and I hate it. And these kids deserve better.
they do.
And I'll leave it at that.
On that note, we are an opinion show. We have opinions just like you do. We will try to decide our sources, but more often than not, we're just going to talk about current events. In other words, we're poor, don't sue us, sit back and have fun.
And I'll give you your opinion if I want it.
All
I promise you, I will give you your own opinion.
right.
Why is this guy setting me on fire? Could you not set me on fire, you dick?
On that note of setting on
Anyways,
fire, I think you actually have a super topic that you wanted to talk about, and I saw your tweet about
I
it. Let's
do.
just do that.
I'm very excited. So, you know the company Intersloth, right? They're the people that made Among Us.
Oh, yes.
Well, they made so much money off of Among Us that they started their own financing company for video game development called Outer Sloth. And unlike a lot of publishing companies or funding companies that say, "Hey, we'll give you money if you give us your IP address or your IP and all the rights to your stuff," their funding agreement specifically in Section 4,
Mhm.
4.1, and 4.2 says you own your stuff as the developer. They will give you money. There's a revenue share split they do where, they'll front you the money, then they want their money back plus a little bit extra, which is cool. And that's normal in any funding scheme. But the fact that the developer keeps all the marks, all the intellectual property, all the trademarks, all the rights, all of that stuff is beyond insane to me because that is not something you rarely, it's something you pretty much never see these days in a funding agreement, let alone one where they're, offering you a shit ton of money for your video game or to fund your video game. So that's really awesome. And on top of that, by getting the funding, you're actually granting Outer Sloth, as their funding company is called, a limited license that's non-revocable, which is good and bad in its own right, but it's non-transferable. And that's the key part. It's non-transferable to any other entity, to essentially market your game on your behalf. You let them use your game and all its marks and designs and stuff for marketing purposes, but there's a catch with that in how they do it. If Outer Sloth wants to promote your game, you, the developer, have a say, the final say, actually, in how Outer Sloth markets your game and how they use your marks. Now, it can't be unduly withheld, and that's always subject to interpretation and, opinions. But the key part is, as the developer, you get to say, no, I don't want you to use my game brand this way, or I want you to use it this way. And that's something you pretty much don't see in funding agreements. more often than not, it's give me all your IP, give me your copyrights, give me everything to the publisher, and I'm going to use it how I want, which is, something you see with the games like KSP2 that's still available for sale, easy for me to say, but it's not in development anymore. And you can't do that under that funding agreement. Like, that is so super cool.
That's
And
interesting.
it was
Is
nice
Outer
enough and
Sloth
awesome enough that sorry?
is Outer Sloth looking to be looking to be a publisher? Because it sounds more along the lines of they just want to be a games financer, and they're like,
Pretty
hey,
much that's pretty much like it's a funding agreement. They are acting as a publisher, but unlike traditional publishers like Take-Two or anybody similar, they don't take control of your intellectual property. They don't control anything. And in fact, they give up more traditional rights to you, the developer. And that would be, giving up the rights on how your game is marketed, how the marks are used. So if you don't want your game being used for, you know, promotion of whatever, like say you're like me and you don't like anime and you don't want them to use it, or like the publisher says, I want to use it to promote anime, you can be like, no. And they have to agree to that. Like they have to abide by that. And that's
no, my barcodes will
brilliant.
not be next to sexy waifus. We will not do that here. I get it. That's
No, fuck that. I mean, I get people love anime. I always smash on anime because it's funny to me because it makes people upset. But at the end of the day, allowing the developer to retain all the rights to the game and associated marks and intellectual property is phenomenal. And I wish it was something we saw more of these days, because I think it would encourage more developers to feel less scared, I guess, about seeking out funding. Because, like I said, more often than not, if you try and get funding, you give up rights to everything. But under this design, or Jesus Christ, under this funding model and a license agreement, you don't give up any of that stuff. Like, that is brilliant to me.
I got some.
And shout out to Innersloth for making one hell of an awesome license agreement.
I got some thoughts on this, and it comes back to like I'm gonna bring it up. Some people may not like it, but Pirate Software talking about is a publisher absolutely necessary, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of the established practices in gaming are really trying to still make themselves relevant. Think of publishers are now looking at going the way of GameStop. I mean, not like the EAs or the Microsofts or the Blizzards or the Ubisofts, the one that could just throw money at anything and write their own rules. I'm talking like I think Donkey. He opened up his own publishing company, probably under the same stipulations, kind of. And the draw with him is like, yeah, no, I will fund you and I will promote you on my platform. And Donkey has a very large subscriber base and platform, so he could literally shout it from the heavens and you'd hear it across the world, which is kind of nice. Now, that being said, with publishers losing power in this capacity, where it is much easier to just self-publish, and Steam allows you to do that, there's got to be a different arrangement of how this stuff is supposed to work. And I think Outer Sloth probably has it right. Like, hey, I
Yeah.
understand you want to make a game. Here's some dollary dues. Go make your game, but here are the stipulations. We get to use your stuff for promotional material, but you retain rights to all your stuff.
Yeah. And
No,
as someone who reads license agreements for a living, this is this is as cool as the license agreement for a piece of software that was published like 30 odd years ago. That like 3/4 of the way through the license agreement, there was a section that said, hey, if you read this, send an email to this this email address quoting this, and we'll give you $100.
mm-hmm.
And like one person in 20 years freaking emailed them saying, hey, can I still get the $100? Like, that was a pretty funny license agreement, but as a publishing agreement, this is a brilliant move on Innersloth's part, because I think it'll encourage more people to be less afraid to seek outside funding to help make their dream a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you no longer have to worry about losing control of your game and all of its marks and rights and stuff like that, I think will open up a lot of doors.
Yeah. No. I want to see more games like that. I want to see more games that are running independent, like Eugenics, Binding of Isaac. I believe it's all self-published. Things like that. Like they retain everything, all the indies out there. Even Phil Fish with Fez, even though that was a giant like internet debacle all on his own. But
I don't remember that one.
you don't remember Phil Fish?
Nope.
Oh, he is the creator of Fez, but he is also not made for public display. So, so let's just
That's
say
a
that.
sentence I didn't expect to hear.
Well, think about it. Is like because generally, like if you look at whatever Edmund McMillan does, like
Hmm.
he has very minimal contact with the public. He responds on Twitter. He takes everything with a grain of salt. Like he's a good front man for his business. Bill Fish is not a great front man for his business. I mean, and I'm not talking like looks or anything because you've seen Edmund McMillan. He looks like a bridge troll, right? And that's no offense to Edmund. Like that's just it with the beard and the hardcore developer look of just like I've seen some shit in code like that. I totally get it. But Phil Fish lost his mind publicly to the point where it's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm canceling Fez 2, and guess what? Fez is now like $99.99 and increased his price on Steam to like $100. Like,
What? Why?
yeah, like it's an interesting historical study of like why some people should not be public facing. I mean, the guy hopefully he sought therapy because the internet is not a kind place. You and I both know
Oh God, no.
this. like,
Like
like
I do remember a time when the internet was kind and people would be like, "Hey, did you know this cool fact? And let me show you some sources and site references, and now you can, know this really awesome thing as well." And then 4chan came around and ruined everything.
yeah, thinking 4chan. So, but yeah, I mean, it's got its benefits. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out and how doing stuff with outer sloth financing is going to work for future developers. I'm glad they made enough money with Among Us and their special hats to allow for this type of interaction with other developers. So, good job.
Yeah.
Um, I was looking at the headlines. I didn't exactly read this particular article, but I'm going to say it right now. Gary's mod creator compares overusing AI in coding to watching too much porn.
I mean, it's a very funny but maybe accurate statement.
It is. I did read some of it, not all of it, but a lot of it has to deal with numbness because right now, like our artist friends, like generative AI for art is not an okay thing, right? We know this. We also know that AI does build on other people's works in a very invasive manner, which is why the artists are like, "Hey, don't do that. That's some bullshit. Pay us our due," and as you should. But as far as like coding is concerned, the discussion in this article was talking more along the lines of like it's a tool. You need to use it. Like it shouldn't ever like be your developer, but as a tool to accelerate development, the fantastic thing. And then he believes that developers are coming around to the idea that that is the case, right? Like generative AI art is not a tool. That is just memes.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Bullshit. But using it as a tool, like I think I've even said it before on a few podcasts where it's just like, AI is great as a tool because you're getting the average of all the knowledge on the internet into one place regarding this very specific thing because AI models are stupid. Don't mind the fact that like it's destroying like our atmosphere and resources and making our electric bills go up along with our water bills. But aside from that, like actually using this stuff is accelerating the production of software, which is great. Um,
You mean slop?
well, yes, that
it's
too.
it's slop.
Well, it depends. Like I said, and I like even in my case, it's just like so. As far as using AI in my case, and I don't use this at work. It's really to bounce something off. Like I need somebody. It's like I treat it like rubber duck programming. You ever heard of rubber duck programming, Kaimi?
Yeah, where you talk to a rubber duck or whatever's on your desk, and explain to it, the inanimate object, what you're trying to accomplish, and that usually helps you work through an issue.
Yeah, well, imagine if the rubber duck could talk and it's through a chat screen. That's pretty much what you're looking at, but you also have to keep in mind the fact that it is over enthusiastic and will tell you anything to enable you to do whatever it is that you want. Even if it's not
I found a way
feasible.
around that.
Oh, did
I
you?
actually found a way around that. So anytime I have to use AI, which is every once in a while, and lately it's been to try and find new ways of getting it to not be stupid, I give it a set of commands before I ask any sort of question of it. The first sentence is always, do not respond with human-style platitudes. You're a fucking machine. You're not even an animate, sentient creature. You're an inanimate object. Fuck off. Don't give me, that is a smart idea. Would you like, no, fuck off. All of that, fuck off. Provide matter-of-fact responses only is typically the second sentence. The third one is reference or link valid reference or use valid links for every reference.
Huh?
Provide references when necessary or when asked. Do not, and then the final one I just started adding is if an answer is unknown, state that clearly and do not use assumptions in the reply. Because I find more often than not AI will hallucinate and give me bullshit. But even then, I caught Copilot being stupid this week.
That's not unusual.
So I use that exact thing of like, don't guess or don't make up an answer if the answer is unknown.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking it very specific questions around something to do with Microsoft Teams. I don't remember what it was.
Right.
And I already knew the answer because I had the answer staring me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was to do something with the PowerShell module for Microsoft Teams, which has basically all been depreciated unless you have PowerShell 7 installed, because it's not really meant to be used with PowerShell 5.1 anymore, which is considered now Windows PowerShell. There's an actual difference. There's Windows PowerShell and Microsoft PowerShell.
Yeah.
Microsoft PowerShell is the platform independent one that works on like Linux and Apple OS and everything, and Microsoft or Windows PowerShell is Windows PowerShell 5.1. It comes on the Windows platform only.
Mm-hmm.
I only use that at work because we're too lazy to install 7. Anyways, it was, the question was involving how to pull a list of all the members of a security grouping within Teams, but to make it compatible for PowerShell 5.1. And it specifically guessed the answer for what would be appropriate for PowerShell 5.1. And when I called it out saying, this error message is related to trying to run this command, which is only compatible in PowerShell 7 in a 5.1 environment, the environment was specifically outlined as or stated to be 5.1. Why was, and the instructions were don't guesstimate an answer, or don't guess an answer, specifically mention if it's not, if the answer is unknown, why was this used? Copilot's reply was, oh, it's because it's in the majority of answers that I skimmed through.
Yeah.
That's not what I fucking asked, you piece of shit. Not what the instruction was, which was give me matter-of-fact replies that are accurate, don't guess, and don't provide inaccurate answers. Provide references for everything. Like, I fucking hate AI so much.
Yeah, like I said, and that's what it comes down to. Like, AI is a great tool if you have domain knowledge of what it is you're working with. Obviously, you have domain knowledge in PowerShell and Teams, so it made the most sense. Right? And that's why you could call it out and be like, Copilot, that's bullshit. Why did you not do the things that AI is supposed to do, such as if I ask you to behave a certain way or take on a certain role or follow a certain set of rules, why did you not follow them? And mind you, AI is not going to give a shit. What are you going to do? Like, turn it off? Oh, no. I mean,
well, and that's the thing. Like, the instruction set was simple enough, and I might have to refine it a little bit further, and tell it to not look for answers or provide answers that are unrelated to the environment given.
This is true.
I might have to do something like that. What's that?
You can also, because you can actually use real language and not treat it like a machine.
Oh, I intend to treat it always like a machine because that's what it is.
Can you hear me? No, I understand that, but from one role player to another, just hear me out. And this is like the crux of like prompt engineering, at least as far as I was trained. Right. Number 8 is if you ask it to your first conversation, you did it right with the whole like, hey, I need correct answers, I need resources, don't give me platitudes and things like that. You can actually set that up with I need you to take on the role of an expert insert thing here. Expert uh, uh, teams, PowerShell, whatever. You can be as specific or as vague as you want. And I need you to behave in these specific manners. You need to do this. AI, as far as generative text-based AI, is very good at role playing if you ask it to. You and I have both done this. We've had it reply as furries and in Uwu language and everything else. It will follow those directions. So it might be
When did we
worth.
do that?
Oh gosh, it was like what was it? We were like making AI talk like a pirate or some stupid shit. It was something out there. You're like, I found out how to make AI more entertaining, and it was like a whole like 20-minute segment a few podcasts back.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Because I can't, I don't see myself willingly being like, can you talk in Uwu speak, please?
oh
It
no,
seems like the last thing I would do.
it was a podcast gag. You wouldn't do that. Be like, oh man, I'm at work and I usually do these PowerShell scripts, but check this out. I want Ubu language. I can't see you doing that.
God, no. Fucking hate that.
So, but to the tune of like Gary's Mod Creator compares overusing AI and coding to watching too much porn. It makes a
Oh, yeah,
lot of
sorry.
sense. We went off the tangent, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense because yeah, the more you use it, the more normal it becomes, and that's what all the AI providers want. They want it to become the normal. That way, once it's the normal, it's like, well, this is unsustainable, so everybody has to pay $200 a month.
You know, I can absolutely agree with that assessment. I find too many people these days are relying on AI to do basic fact checks. I hate seeing breaking news on Twitter because the next thing I see is Grok, is this real? Why don't you know how to A, critically think for yourself, B, know how to do basic research, and C, understand how to evaluate what is a trustworthy news source and what is not?
And let's not forget
And D,
E.
how do you recognize what is actual factual reporting and what is emotional rage bait?
Yeah, and E, the owner of the company of Grok, actively like tunes it to be a specific bias. So
Yeah. Like it's a nightmare dealing with that shit because it's just done incorrectly. And I hate it so much. Like I hate people normalizing using Grok to fact check shit because even Grok gets stuff wrong. And a quick Google search can show you the correct answer.
mhm.
But people are so hung up on the, oh, do your own research. They don't even understand what those words mean these days.
Well, they've got it so obfuscated right now. Like even if you were to Google it, the first response you get is from Gemini, and it's at the top with references.
Oh, I found out if you use the word fucking in your query, or you just scroll down, you won't get you don't have to look at the AI shit.
Oh yeah, no, you just definitely scroll down. That is the appropriate response. One of my kids,
But
he was like, "Yeah, it turns out I'm dying." Like, you're not dying, dude. Like, stop it. Did you go to
my
WebMD?
favorite thing is when you ask it a question and you use the word fucking in your question. Like, what is the fucking answer to this? 99 times out of 100, the first response I've seen is the same question asked on Reddit with that exact title. Reddit users swear a lot in their posts. Like, holy shit, guys, calm down.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, no, like I thought that was interesting, and it's just like it kind of equates to um, the train wrecks analogy, where you know you don't want to look, but you just gotta, kind of. But
Yeah.
it's also desensitizing for just it just exists. Like it is now a tool. People are paying for it, and creating the demand out of nothing, which is what this whole exercise over the last like 3 years has been. Like, well, if we make it to where like people can't live without it, obviously they're going to pay more for it. Once we get them hooked, it's the whole like drug dealer
Yeah,
situation.
your first hit is free.
Yeah, except this first hit has lasted like a few years now. But I mean, they're already talking with at least as far as here in the United States, like the major AI leaders, Bezos and Satya and Elon and whatever, sit in the same room in the U.S. government, going, "Hey, you should subsidize some of this electricity cost that we're using." I want you to understand how absurd that sounds.
I Yeah, I would never expect the U.S. government to say shit like that, but that's kind of funny. Oh, speaking of, what's her name? What's her name? The person you just mentioned who's like all in on AI at Xbox.
Oh yeah,
The advertising line of "this is an Xbox," that blog post is now gone. You know, the one where they were trying to like market Xbox as like a thing and not just a box.
yeah.
Like it'll be a whole ecosystem.
Uh-huh.
That page is now gone. Redirects to a 404 message, and it goes hand in hand with how Xbox is slowly going out the way of the dodo.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, you're not wrong there. I mean, if you think about it, they spent the last like almost 8 years democratizing the gaming platform. Play Xbox Play Anywhere. You can play it on your PC. You can play it on your Xbox. You can play it on your phone via XCloud. You can play anywhere, anytime, anyway for any game that has been enabled for such shenanigans, right? So, like, of course,
Yep.
first party titles. Well, now first party titles like Bethesda titles and Activision Blizzard and things like that. Of course, they're going to be Play Anywhere. Have you seen the Blizzard launcher lately? Hello.
Yep. Sorry. Have I seen the Blizzard launcher lately? No, I don't use it.
Okay. Well, they have increased the amount of titles that are across the top, so it's no longer just Blizzard exclusive stuff like Call of Duty, um, World of Warcraft, Diablo 2, 3, and 4. It now includes such titles as Outer Worlds and Bethesda titles. So Skyrim and Starfield and things like that. So yeah, and anything that you now buy on the Xbox store that is enabled for Play Anywhere, that is those titles, you can actually launch and install from the Blizzard launcher.
I mean, that's cool and all, but um, what's sad is they're actually like it looks like they're getting ready to shutter all of Xbox in the next 5 years.
Oh yeah, no, it's probably going to happen. In fact, one of the articles that I pulled up for tonight was had to deal with Project Helix. You know what that is?
That was their Xbox replacement or something.
Something like that. And the article wasn't necessarily like a big announcement about it. It was talking about the pricing on it and justifying why it's probably going to be $1,200.
Yeah, I'd buy a computer at that point.
At that point, but now computers are more expensive. So can you like I priced out like a framework laptop, and it was like
Hmm.
36 to $3,900, and that's with like the latest Nvidia chip and everything, right?
Hmm.
Exactly, because I built ahead. That's why this machine I'm on, it was like almost 10 years old now. But if you think about it, they're setting themselves up, and because Project Helix is a Microsoft product, and Microsoft and other businesses went through and just like plundered all of the M2 storage, all so all the NVMe and all the DDR5 memory, and now they're saying, yeah, due to shortages, we may not be able to give you a good price point of like $500 for the console. I want you to understand how ridiculous
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
that. It's just like
Just a little bit.
if Amazon was just like, yeah, no, totally, we have our Amazon console. We call it the Prime Way, but it's going to be like $2,000. So because of the shortages that we caused, because AI, everything else.
I
Yeah,
really hate AI.
yeah, yep. It's getting to the point where it's becoming untenable, and I swear, on my YouTube video feed, it's all about how the AI bubble is bursting and things like that because Sam Altman's a tool bag. So,
Wait a minute, wait a minute. That's too nice to tool bags, and that's really insulting to tool bags everywhere.
well, what's interesting about Sam Altman is if you really take it from an objective view, it looks like he's losing his mind, and even he isn't buying his own shit. He's just like, yeah, no, this is some crap, and this is why we don't care. And everybody else is like, because Sam, what was it? What are they? They're Anthropic? No, they're OpenAI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got like the CEO of that company who has been taking circle jerk money from like all the major players using Chat GPT and Nvidia, who's doing all the number crunching for their multi-billion token models, right? And he's just like, yeah, no, and you've heard it, like they're not making money. They haven't made money in years. They're just being given money. They're literally operating
Yeah.
on given capital. I think.
I like that. Yeah, I think it was Pirate Software who had a short basically saying like if you've got a buck, you have more money than OpenAI. And when you look at their SEC filings, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no, it's very true. They haven't made money in forever, and they're not going to make money. If they were to make money for how useful their product is, which is it depends. It's only useful to very specific trained models, and nobody on our level, as a consumer, is going to spend the time to make our own models and agents. Which is why, like, the agentic operating system by Microsoft is such a fucking joke.
The what operating system by Microsoft?
Agentic.
This is the first time I've heard of that shit.
Oh yeah, they're talking about the movement for Microsoft Windows, for Windows 11 and forward, is to make it a more agentic operating system, and the way they're going to do that.
Oh, yeah, that's where people are freaking out about Windows 10, 12 being just like nothing but AI driven.
You and I are both like security minded and whatnot, and I don't feel comfortable with a loose cannon AI with multiple logins to my own machine working processes in the background to do things for me. I can't think of a single thing I need AI to do for me.
No, fuck that. Like, I don't even have, what is it? Amazon Alexas. Like, I'm that paranoid about that shit. And actually, our friend Gabi,
Mm-hmm.
that we know and love, he found out something ridiculous.
Oh, let's
And
hear
it's
it.
something I suspected all along.
Uh huh.
And that's he was having massive lag on his internet. Like it was absolutely just like 1 tier above dial up. Um, it was horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
And his family had 3 Alexas in the house. He unplugged one of them, and all of a sudden his internet got 9 times, 10 times better. Like it's
Whoa.
smooth now. It's not cutting out all the time. He doesn't sound like a robot all the time in Discord. He can actually play video games with friends. Like it's night and day how much it has improved by unplugging one Alexa. And that really tells you how much bandwidth those pieces of shit actually consume.
That's pretty intense, Amy.
Yeah, they're bandwidth hogs. And when I see people with all these Alexa units in their home, it's just freaky to me. Like, why do you have so many? And B, why do you hate yourself? Like, why do you want to be paying for all that bandwidth to be consumed by a device that is literally always listening to you?
Yeah.
Because Alexa devices have to listen to every word you say
Mm-hmm.
because they have to know if you're saying, "Hey, Alexa."
Yep. And
Which is
that
why when
audio
you
is
say
reviewed by
something,
other people, not just by AI, which is kind of crazy.
well, exactly, because every now and then they do have to figure out whether or not the action was appropriate, and they do review it with humans. So that means all of your conversations have a chance of being listened to by a third party. So God forbid you're talking about something very private that someone decides to leak on the internet. Like people, human beings hear your conversations or have a chance to. And that should be worrying for most people, which is why I absolutely refuse to have those in the house.
Yep. Hopefully on your phone you've disabled your voice assistants as well, be it Google or
Everything
Bixby.
is disabled. I even have what is it? Samsung's AI set to only run locally on my phone
Yeah.
because I have no choice but to have it. But I do have the option of, determining how I'm going to use it. And I have it set up to only work on the phone and not send anything to Samsung servers at all.
Yeah. No, that's real. My phone keeps asking me to set up for all those voice assistants. I was like, I have my phone in my hands. I'll just stop it.
Yeah. Like, I'm quite capable of typing things. I'm quite capable of looking at things. I don't need to be spoon fed my entire life.
If
I
I get
fear that we're headed towards Wally in terms of like human stupidity and being unable to fend for yourself,
yeah,
let alone the fat round blobs that they become in the movie. Because I mean, you see that happening anywhere, especially in Western civilizations.
hmm
It's nice to see that you guys are getting rid of high fructose corn syrup in your diets,
are we?
but still, what the fuck? Yeah, that's been banned and it's getting phased out in a lot of your products.
Oh, good,
That was started happening like a number of years ago,
interesting. I never
which
really
is
paid
good.
attention. I've been buying whole ingredients, so I have control over all that shit. So I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys are starting to get like Coca-Cola made with cane sugar now. It used to be just available in the Mexican only Coke,
hmm
like stuff that was bottled in Mexico, and now I'm finding it, not even branded as like made in Mexico. It's just bottled in USA Coca-Cola that is using cane sugar.
oh wow.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Canada uses like pure refined sugar, so
mhm.
it has a very different flavor than the cane sugar, but at least it's not high fructose corn syrup in either case anymore.
Fair. So this Project Helix, some of the things that they revealed about this thing, because let's see here, who was this? This is by Eric Fredrickson on GameSpot. Was talking about let's see here, the specs. It's powered by a custom AMD SoC. So it's co-designed for the next generation of DirectX. So do you know about DirectX at all, Amy?
Uh, from back in the DirectX like 7 through 11 days,
hmm
I don't really pay attention to much of it anymore.
So DirectX is Microsoft's answer to GLSL, and
Yeah,
that's like open. Anything you do with graphic cards has to have shaders, and shaders are programs that's run
yeah.
directly on the GPU. And the thing about DirectX is that it is Microsoft specific, and they had positioned themselves over years to be a gaming platform, or the ability to be a gaming platform as a PC, which makes sense. So, with the direction they're going, what use is it actually having this be co-designed for it if they're planning on tanking the platform anyway? Unless they're going to use this as a giant tax write-off, which is also a possibility. Like, oh, our project failed. Don't mind the fact that like they've been making Xboxes since the 2000s. So think
It
of
might serve to be a write-off because you get to basically, yeah, I could see them doing that. Like you write it down as the loss, and then you basically get to recoup that loss on your taxes over time.
mhm. They're pulling a Yui Bowl.
So, sorry?
They're pulling a Yui Bowl.
Oh, yeah, him and like all of Hollywood. Look how many movies get produced and never released, or shows that last one episode or one season and then they get closed down, or video game publisher or development companies that get bought and immediately closed because it's easier to write down the purchase as a loss than to actually try and grow the brand or grow whatever it is you're working with.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, and that's just the whole thing. This whole thing is looking to take a loss for extra money. What it is. It's a tax write-off. It's going to be a tax write-off. Like, it's a shame because Xbox was an okay product. It was no PlayStation, that's for sure, but it still did the things. And the ecosystem is great, and it's not as convoluted as like navigating Sony's shenanigans. And I will say that outright. Like, it was a good platform. And watching it tank like this with no real effort, which is the same reason why I will never, ever, ever trust another product that comes out of Microsoft. Look at Windows Phone. It had a decent run. Look at, like, when's the last time you heard anything about a Microsoft Surface?
It's been some time.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been since the last time I bought a batch for work.
Yep. And last podcast, I mentioned the Zune, and that brought back all kinds of nightmare memories.
Oh my god, yeah, that thing.
Yeah. So I don't trust them with any device out there. And now we're losing faith in even the operating system, too. So, I mean, they're tanking all their products and putting all their eggs into one enterprise basket until the enterprise customers are like, fuck this. And a lot of countries are abandoning it as it stands. So,
yeah. It's like they're trying to pull in HPE. And if you don't know what that is for the audience, that's HP Enterprises, otherwise known as Hewlett Packard Enterprises.
mm-hmm.
It used to be all under the HP brand. They had their personal computing, their printing, and then their enterprise stuff. Eventually, they decided they wanted to get out of the personal computing and strictly into business stuff. They've revamped their printer business to basically be selling to medium and large scale businesses only. They do have some Soho or small office, home office printing capabilities. Right. And then HPE or HP Enterprise is their massive data center, breadbasket or breadwinner for them versus the consumer side, which they've effectively shut down over the years. It sounds like that's what Microsoft's trying to do.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, think about it. The thing about going enterprise, if you ever think about it, is the fact that you can write your own check and charge your own prices. It doesn't matter because businesses need it to function. And if you say, well, this is going to be $3,000 per unit, business is like, I don't care. I just need to print my documents. Can I have my printers, please? As consumers, we can't do that. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like if you were to issue like a change request with your organization being like, hey, we need these things and it comes through this vendor, your organization is going to look at it and go, okay, let's go, right? Unless it's like too far out of budget, at which point now we have to look at different vendors. And HP at the end of the day is just a vendor. Same thing with Microsoft. They're banking on all of their enterprise customers. So
they are. They really are. And it's we've seen this before in Windows as a service. I am the will of the Lex. I am the law. Judge Joe Brown. Fuck yeah. Anyways, so Windows as a service, for those of you who don't know, is Microsoft's subscription-based operating system for enterprise users. It was feared years ago after Windows 7 was announced to be shutting down that they were going to immediately go to Windows as a service for home users and make it mandatory for all business/enterprise users. They've thankfully not done that. But you can actually buy a subscription for Windows as a service with virtual desktop infrastructure or VDIs. And it sounds like we're watching Windows as a Service 2.0 now.
Hey, think about it. You can either make something and charge people once, which is why Office went from a standalone purchase of like $200, I think is what it was, for like the complete Office suite without like Project and Visio, if I remember correctly. Or you could pay $5 a month and get everything that you need. At which point now, after like what, 2 years, you're already making profit on this subscription, and you've got a constant revenue stream for people who have used their product for years. Same thing with Windows. And I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat for this one, Amy. If you think about it, all the shortages in RAM, and processors, and NVMe storage, and things that consumers use, and forcing those producers to focus on enterprise globally as opposed to the user, making those things unavailable by taking the supply and creating a huge demand, and then offering, well, you could just rent the infrastructure from us. If you want to need a gaming PC, it's $20 a month.
Well, that's what Jeff Bezos said. He wanted people to get rid of or like stop buying actual computers and just rent computers from him.
Yeah. Like, because at a
which is
subscription
absurd.
Model is almost unlimited profit. Almost,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's absurd because I don't want someone owning my hardware because I don't trust anyone.
Yeah, as you should.
Like, I've been around the internet for way too fucking long to know that you don't blindly trust anyone or thing online. The number of times my email has been sold through various leaks and hacks. My personal data is floating around there numerous times over because of other various leaks and hacks. Like, you just don't fucking trust anything or anyone. And for Bezos to sit there and say, I don't want you to, own a computer. I want you to rent it for me. Fuck all the way off.
Pretty much.
You bald-headed prick.
And we've already got the technology, and Microsoft has proved it with xCloud that we could do all of your game processing locally. Because they just spin up a VM running Xbox software. When you think about it, it's the direction they want us to go. And again, tinfoil hat, if they take all the supply of all the things you need to make a reasonably priced computer and make it stupid expensive, so buying new RAM is now like $4,000 for like 16 gigs. Think about it. It's looking to drive the market that particular direction under the guise of like AI infrastructure, which is also a whole different contentious thing.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And I hate that it sounds paranoid, but what I've learned over the hundreds of years I've been around, especially the last 100 years, easily, it's shit like that eventually gets normalized. And we're in a period now where I think we're starting to normalize that kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it so many times where a company will say something or do something egregious that just over time becomes normalized. And I fear that's where we're headed today.
Here's a good example.
Like, we already, like, cookies, internet cookies are the biggest example. When people first realized that internet cookies were tracking your online behavior, there was uproar all over the place. And people in political positions that didn't even, or who were around before the typewriter was invented, and yeah, that was a thing, had a hard time understanding what cookies really meant. So the legislation was never made to be robust enough to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
And now companies have seen that as a means of exploitation because privacy laws around North America, specifically Canada and the US, I think Mexico's in the same boat, are nowhere near as robust as they are in Europe. And what's really funny to me is some of my European friends cannot access American websites, like American governmental websites, and they have to get me to do it because the GDPR prevents the resale and of their data and prevents tracking legally with massive penalties if you break those laws. So it's easier for American government websites to geofence themselves, in other words, lock themselves out of Europe just so they don't have to run afoul of the law and end up having to pay potentially hundreds of millions of dollars in fines.
Yeah.
Like, that is funny to me and also scary.
Definitely. There's one more topic I wanted to discuss before we bailed on out of here. Since it's just two of us, we don't need like 10 minutes for figure out what everybody's doing. There was a Pokemon copycat clone, but I think I'm actually going to wait till next week when Cajun's available to hit this one. Have you heard of the game called Pikmin?
Pikmin? Wasn't that like a game from like 30 years ago for Atari?
I'm sorry, not Pikmin, Pikmon.
Yes, I think I've seen a few people playing it.
So Pikmon is the new Poke-like that is literally ripping off people and organizations and things like that. It is stealing designs from Breath of the Wild and Pokemon and a few other things, and from fan-created Pokemon. So like DeviantArt structures and things like that. And
so my question is it drawing inspiration or is it directly ripping it off? Because there's a huge distinction. Remember that.
The article from Lewis Parker on Kotaku says it is a direct ripoff. Like there was no pride as far as that's concerned. Like already Pikmon, Pickmon, is a whole thing on its own. Okay, so we got that. They even got some Power World stuff in there, and just to make it as closely relatable to Nintendo, their company name is Network Go.
It's a weird company name.
It is, but if you look at the human brain, typically we look at the first and last letter, and our brains fill in the spaces in between. So
What's it called?
Network Go.
NG? I don't understand. What's that really?
NETWRKGO.
Yeah, I don't understand what it's getting at. My brain doesn't play those games.
Well, we all have different brains, I guess. But
so I literally don't understand what's so bad about that.
Well, it's not really too much bad about that by itself. There were some other things in here where they kept interchanging. Let's see, where was it? It was because publisher, so forth and so on. And their previous game is a Hyena World, which is a ripoff from MapleStory. Where is it? Yeah, because the thing here, the reason why this even hit the news is because it was spotted by Dexterto that two different Pokemon fan artists have accused Pikmin of ripping their designs off for Mega Cerulean and Mega Megamium, whatever the hell that is. So it's hitting the artist area, right? While like Pal World created a whole new world, right? Had some like mechanics, but all of their Pokemon or I still call them Pokemon. Just as how
they're
prevalent.
pals.
Yeah, all of
they're
pals.
legally distinct Pokemon.
Right, and they are all different. Like even the folks are like, it's an exact ripoff, and started like lining up models and things like that.
Oh, that guy made all that shit up though. He even admitted to it.
Yeah, he just didn't want the game to succeed. He was like, yeah, no, it's a direct ripoff.
That's a loser if I've ever seen one. Jesus Christ.
But this is
apparently I don't like it. I'm going to try and make it to be... Fuck off. People can like things that you don't like, you little whiny bitch. Go choke on a bag of dicks until you can't breathe anymore. Like, fuck off. Anyways, carrying on.
Right, so apparently this whole Pikmin thing is hitting the community. Like Pal World, they made their own assets. They had their own music. Like, even their trailer is Pal World adjacent. Like... It's pretty intense, but all this negative press has actually brought a lot of attention their way, and they even released a press announcement saying, let's see, what was it? I have it here. See here. That's because the official Pikmin YouTube channel has been bragging about all of the negative attention they've received so far. A huge thank you to all the media outlets. Thank you for your support. You've hit 25 million impressions under 40.
Jesus.
Yeah, that goes to that whole statement of like, bad news is still news.
I mean, sure.
So, I mean, think about it. For all the shit that Pirate Software got, he probably got more clicks and views from people trying to rage bait him than his actual fans.
That's true. Because, yeah, that one channel that had pivoted to just like rage bait, pivoted to the next target.
Yep.
It's like, okay, yeah, so none of it was founded. It was just rage bait. Nice. Dickbag.
Deal. Either way, I don't have anything else. I'll probably save this one for Cajun next week, because right now he is... Poor Cajun. He hit me up earlier this week, and he sat there and goes, Luby, I can't do this. Like, I'm hearing so much things about Pokotopia. I'm like, dude, don't ask me to stop you. Even I want to play the damn game, so I'm like the wrong person to ask to talk you out of buying it. And the next day, he ended up sending me an image of his Switch 2 with Pokopia installed on it. And I'm just like...
I mean, here's the thing, Cajun. I love you, but if you don't want to play a game, why do you need someone else to tell you not to... If your impulse control is so bad that you need someone to tell you not to do something, maybe, perchance, it's time to go outside and touch grass, sir. I love you, but go outside and touch grass. And you can quote me on that, sir.
I'm looking forward to hearing his take on Pokopia, because Pokopia has probably taken TikTok and the rest of the internet by storm, and probably now arguably the best game in this in the Pokemon world. I'm not gonna say the series, because the actual series is their dual release games like Black and White, Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet. And next one's coming up is Winds and Waves, right? Or their Legend series, so that's Arceus Legends and Legends ZA. So that's like the all-inclusive series. Now we have this other thing that is pretty much Fallout Pokemon that is taking everybody in an emotional roller coaster. So I'm looking forward to hearing from him. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. What's going on with you this week?
As my wonderful Thunk has now said in chat on the morning, sir, Thunk smash Badmans.
There we
Probably
go.
gonna play some more, more of this. Wonderful game. I love this. Fucking, uh, just amazing. So Dorktide, probably my favorite game that I played in a long time. Probably this. Some more Timberborn.
Oh, that's right. That's
Gotta
1.0
work
now.
my wood. It is, and holy shit, they dropped some massive lore in an intro. They have an intro video for the game now,
I have to go load it up now.
and it is heart wrenching the first time you see it. Like, holy fuck! They went all out in the intro video, and good on them. It is really well done. It dropped some massive lore for the game, which it never had any. There was never any real lore for why you were using beavers to make colonies and survive, and yet this intro video answers all those questions. Like, holy crap, good job, people.
Nice. Good stuff.
Funk liked video? Yeah, so we can probably do that. Maybe a little bit more of RimWorld. We'll see. I did finish, actually, incidentally, I did finish all of Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Oh, how was that? I know you were doing Nazis last week.
Yeah, that game is just fun. It's so stupid. And it's not stupid as in like it's a shit game. It's stupid fun. You ever play a game that's just so dumb, so campy, you're like, this is amazing. I love this. That's that game. It follows the original protagonist, BJ Blazkowicz or Blazkowicz,
Okay. Before we go any
from the
further,
original
watching
Wolfenstein 3.
Thunk sit in this thing,
God,
oversized,
don't count.
yeah, and he's
Don't
sitting
count
there
on
like,
fingers.
poking at, like counting his like massive sausage digits. Like, this is it.
Thunk lose track. Thunk count one.
Like the only
Thunk
thing that would make
counted
it better is if
one.
they had a line as like "big man in a little coat," just to just to tribute
Thunk
Chris
not know
Farley.
how to not know how to count higher than one. Thunk count one times. Thunk count one 5 times, but Thunk not know how to count.
Sorry,
Oh god,
I didn't
damn!
mean to
This
interrupt
is
you, but
insane.
it was just tickling me, and I'm like, the Thunk is huge, like comically
Oh yeah.
huge in that little area. Anyway, yeah. So go ahead, Beavers.
Yeah. So there's that. We were talking about how I was enjoying um, Wolfenstein: The New Order. I'm going to play Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. I think is the next one
Mm-hmm.
is on my list because there's a whole like order of release and order of timelines. And I'll be playing them in order of timeline. Oh, there's another auger in here. This is amazing. This will be great. Funk need help up. But yeah, that's what I'm up to.
Sweet. I am getting back in the
Funk
groove
thing.
of working, and I'm actually conscious and wanting to do stuff now. So I'm probably going to start being a bit more active in Discord and whatnot because I'm doing 4:30 to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon just leaves like the rest of my day. I'm just shot, and I'm actually getting sleep now. So I think
Sleep.
my
What's
buddy
that?
my buddy was saying that whole period while I was unfortunately underemployed or unemployed. He was like, it's like you went to Tyrillian time from Men in Black. Like you were up for like 40 hours at a time. So, yeah, no, I wasn't doing too good. So everything's normalizing. I'm happy about that. I'm having fun.
Yay.
Playing video games. Fired up Diablo 4 because Season of Slaughter. Now you can be the butcher, which honestly, it's all kind
What?
of contrived. Yeah, no, like you can be the butcher.
What? I hate that guy.
Yeah, I know,
He's
which is
so
why I like
fucking
playing it.
annoying.
Now, mind you, you don't like get to invade other people's spaces and like wreck their shit. It has its own isolated
Oh.
areas where you could just like wreck towns, and then you have player like entities that like portal in and stuff. But other than that, like it's been fun. I'm playing a necromancer. All the minions all the time. So yeah, it's been a lot
Funk
of
get
fun.
wrecked.
That's probably what I'll be doing next week is farming that up until I get bored with Diablo 4, and then I'll probably move back to playing something else, probably Satisfactory, maybe Mugenics. I have no idea.
I've discovered and I figured out that Mugenics is definitely a game I like to watch people play.
Uh-huh.
It is not the style of game I would ever want to play. It is
Well,
not for me.
I love playing it. Playing it's great. I can't like you and I are both Sinvicta fans, right? Like I
Yep.
can't watch him play Mugenics at all. like like I can't watch anybody play Mugenics, Northern Lion, like the whole crew. I cannot for whatever reason. It is boring AF unless like the most attention I have is when I see creators do something silly like, "Oh yeah, no, single cat challenge and it's this and these are the restrictions." Okay, let's see what you can do, and they'll like rock the whole game with one cat. Like cool, that's actually kind of interesting, but the actual decision and like color commentary of moving gross cats around, it's just not my thing. But playing it, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I can watch people play it. I can't play games like that. They annoy me too much. Because
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of RNGesus. I
That
really do not like RNGesus.
that and my consumption on YouTube has become weird, and I say weird in the sense of like, I no longer watch things at normal speed because it's too slow. Like,
So you're taking the Spiffing Brit way?
yeah, I watch everything at double speed.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, and what's really bad is I watch all this Invictus stuff at triple speed because he talks so slow because he's from Texas like I am. So...
God damn, dude. Tell me what you really think.
Well, think about it. I could watch a whole hour-long episode in like 15 minutes. So you tell me where the time savings is.
God damn it. I hate that makes sense. I really hate that the maths.
Like
I really hate that.
Well, even like my audiobook stuff is at 2x speed. I can't consume at normal speed anymore. It puts me to sleep. So, anyway, that's it. We are 6 minutes past. I had a lot of fun, Amy. This has been the UDP broadcast barcode and boxhead power hour. So
Yep.
lots of AI talk for whatever reason, lots of Microsoft bashing, and
that guy had a Wilhelm scream.
Oh, that's awesome! I love it when they include that.
The dude the guy I just fell down on and killed, bashing him in the back of the head. He did a Wilhelm scream.
Have you seen the documentaries on the dude who did the Wilhelm scream?
I've seen some clips. I don't know how accurate they are, but yeah, it seems kind of cool.
Yeah, they were talking.
Like, there's one where it's like 10 different takes on doing it.
Yeah, and they were asking him, like, can you make it this way? Can you make it this way? And then he just finally...
Yeah, okay, they are real. Yeah. I wasn't sure if they were legit.
So... But yeah, no, there's some videos of him actually talking about it and things, so, yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Episode 120 in the books. Thanks for, if you liked what you heard and liked Amy's gameplay, give us a subscribe, like us, throw some money our way, whatever it is you want to do. Heck, don't throw money our way. Throw money the Trevor Project's
Send it to the Trevor
way.
Project. They need it more than us.
Yep. That's why my Twitch channel has a donate button instead of a subscribe button. So.
Yep. Please give them money. They definitely need it.
With that,
and those kids could definitely use your help.
With that, we're going to sign off right now. And in lieu of Crit and Cajun not being here, we're going to just run through it. Stay awesome, keep it classy, and remember...
Don't be a fuckhead, because I'll eat your bandwidth.
Yes, that too.
I don't want to use their line. Like, that's patented for them and trademarked to them.
You know, you're not wrong.
Don't be a fuckhead. It's simple. Don't be a fuckhead.
Here, what are we looking at?
We get enough fuckheads in this world. Don't add to it. Be nice. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Ooh, there's so many people to kill. Funk Smash.